I've done a lot of crazy things and I've had a lot of accomplishments in my life.
Remember Buddy Valastro from Cake Boss? Here's where his story really began, and how far it's gone since. Long before fame, Buddy hit a secret struggle. At just 27, he suffered his first panic attack while smiling for millions of viewers. By 2020, he was running 14 bakeries, 7 restaurants, and 75 vending machines, until a freak accident nearly ended everything when his hand was crushed and his sons watched in horror as metal was sawed away to save him. Today is worth over $10 million, and his children are already carving out their own paths in the family empire, with one earning $150,000 without ever touching flour and another going viral with 12 million views. Buddy was born on March 3, 1977, in Hoboken, New Jersey, to Italian immigrant parents who lived above Carlo's bakery with very little money. His father worked exhausting 16-hour days, sometimes sleeping on flour sacks, while his mother counted pennies late into the night, choosing between milk and electricity. Buddy grew up on day-old pastries, hammered-down clothes from his 4 older sisters, and a couch in the living room. That struggle shaped him early, and at just 11 years old, his life changed again when his father was diagnosed with lung cancer. While other kids played, Buddy scrubbed bowls, mopped floors, and piped buttercream until his hands cramped, earning just $20 a week but learning every part of the business. By 13, he was baking wedding cakes worth $800, helping keep the family afloat. In 1994, tragedy struck when his father died suddenly of a heart attack, leaving 17-year-old Buddy to shoulder the business with no training and no safety net. He dropped out of high school, worked brutal 16-hour days, and carried the weight of supporting his mother and sisters while battling panic attacks, doubt, and exhaustion. Between 1998 and 2003, costly mistakes nearly broke him, from an $800 chocolate wedding cake that collapsed hours before delivery to a $400 batch of ruined cannoli shells, but each failure sharpened his skills. 4 years, the bakery barely survived, bringing in around $8,000 a month, sometimes just $150 a day, operating out of an 800-square-foot space with aging equipment held together by makeshift fixers. Buddy worked non-stop for less than minimum wage, supported by his fiercely loyal but constantly arguing family, whose chaotic dynamic would later become reality TV gold. The lowest point came between 2001 and 2004, when large commercial bakeries moved in, undercut prices by 30%, and slashed Carlo's bakery's customer base by nearly 40%, dropping revenue to $4,800 a month. Facing mounting debt, exhaustion, and heartbreak, Buddy even considered selling the business for as little as $45,000. But that moment, just before giving up, will become the turning point before everything changed. The stress became overwhelming, and Buddy stopped eating properly, losing 25 pounds and barely sleeping, while his mother took a job at a local grocery store and his sisters searched for other work just to survive. In late 2003, the family reached a breaking point and sat down for a hard conversation, agreeing to give the bakery just one more year before walking away forever, a decision that changed everything. They poured every ounce of energy into making it work, and slowly the tide began to turn. In 2004, Buddy entered the Food Network Challenge, a brutal competition featuring top chefs from across the U.S., and he shocked everyone not only with his baking skills but with his quick one-liners and natural charm, winning the $10,000 prize. More importantly, he discovered he had a gift for television, setting him on a path from local Hoboken baker to national name. Producers immediately saw his unique mix of humor, confidence, and talent, and by 2007 he returned to the show as a mentor, quietly studying how television worked, learning camera angles, storytelling, and audience reactions, while still running Carlo's bakery. When producers later pitched a reality show centered on his bakery, Buddy initially refused, fearing cameras would cheapen the art of cake decorating, but eventually he agreed, and in April 2009 Cake Boss premiered on TLC and became an instant sensation. The show didn't just feature cakes, it showcased his family, their arguments, teamwork, and chaos, turning Buddy into a household name and transforming the small Hoboken bakery into a national attraction almost overnight. Tourists flooded the shop, lines wrapped around the block, and while fame brought enormous opportunity, it also brought pressure, non-stop filming, loss of privacy, and security concerns. Cake Boss ran for 11 years from 2009 to 2020, making Buddy and his family public figures, and when his mother Mary passed away in 2017, Fans mourned her like family, filling the bakery with flowers and tributes, making private grief nearly impossible. As crowds grew, the original Washington Street shop could no longer handle demand, and in 2010 the city even renamed the corner Carlo's Bakery Way, an honor that also brought traffic and stress. To keep up, Buddy opened a massive 30,000 square foot facility at the Lackawanna Center in Jersey City, investing millions so he could ship cakes nationwide. Expansion followed quickly, with Carlo's Bakery growing to nearly 20 locations across several states, along with new ventures like Buddy vs. Restaurant in Las Vegas, Pizza Cake, the Boss Cafe, and Buddy's Jersey Eats, turning him into a full-scale food empire builder. He launched a catering business, introduced Cake ATMS in 2019 that sold slices of cake across the U.S. and Canada, and released his best-selling book Cake Boss. Stories and recipes from Mia Famiglia, blending 37 recipes with heartfelt family stories exactly 100 years after the bakery first opened in 1910. The book landed on the New York Times bestseller list, and by 2012 Buddy was named one of Hudson County's 50 most influential people, proving he was no longer just baking cakes. He was reshaping his city, his industry, and his family's legacy. The restaurant's success was undeniable, built on generous portions and bold flavors, and by 2024 it had reached its 10-year anniversary, an impressive feat on the Las Vegas Strip, where most restaurants don't survive 3 years. Buddy vs. Restaurant wasn't just surviving, it was thriving, earning a 4.3-star rating from more than 3,290 reviews, ranking number one among over 5,000 restaurants in the city, and winning a gold award from the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Instead of slowing down, Buddy expanded even further, launching Buddy vs. Events and Catering in 2014 after constant requests for large-scale event planning. He partnered with high-energy event planner Jeffrey Spivak, tapping into Las Vegas's $11 billion a year event industry, combining Buddy's signature Italian food with Spivak's logistical expertise to offer high-end catering in a market where celebrity chefs charge up to $2,000 per person. With restaurants and events feeding into each other, both revenue streams exploded. In 2016, Buddy surprised fans by becoming the face of Whole Earth Sweeteners' Rethink Sweet campaign, promoting zero-calorie sweeteners and creating lower-calorie recipes, a move that likely earned him between $500,000 and $5 million annually and proved he was willing to evolve to stay relevant. He shocked audiences again in 2018 by launching Italian-inspired dog treats with a pound bakery, chicken parmesan bites, pizza snacks, and meatballs for dogs, wheat dash, corn dash, and soy-free, baked in the U.S. and designed for sensitive stomachs, entering a $7 billion pet treat industry no other celebrity chef had touched. In November 2019, he introduced Cake ATMS in Toronto, refrigerated machines holding 8 full cakes and 160 slices, stocked daily in busy downtown locations, selling premium slices and cakes at prices far above typical vending machines, with each ATM capable of generating over $500,000 a year. All of this unfolded while Buddy was running a television empire that began with Cake Boss and expanded into Next Great Baker, Kitchen Boss, Buddy's Bakery Rescue, Bake You Rich, Bakery Boss, Buddy vs. Duff, and Buddy vs. Christmas, often juggling 6 shows at once while managing businesses and traveling non-stop. The workload was relentless and physically dangerous, especially as he pushed himself to create ever bigger, more complex cakes despite exhaustion and mounting pressure. Behind the scenes, Buddy was hiding years of anxiety that began with his first panic attack at age 27, a struggle he kept private even while helping others through similar moments on camera. Then, on September 20th, 2020, disaster struck when a malfunctioning pin setter in the private bowling alley of his New Jersey home trapped his right hand, driving a thick metal rod through it 3 times and leaving him pinned in excruciating pain as his teenage sons were forced to saw him free, an accident that led to multiple surgeries and marked one of the most harrowing moments of his life. What followed was more than pain. It was pure panic. Blood poured out as the machine refused to release him, and then the unthinkable happened. Buddy's teenage sons had to save their father. Still just kids, they ran for an electric saw and, with shaking hands and screams filling the room, cut through the metal rod holding him hostage, knowing one wrong move could make everything worse. Somehow, they freed him, and Buddy was rushed to the hospital, where doctors warned that the rod had likely torn through tendons, muscles, and nerves and that he might never bake again. For Buddy, that wasn't just a career at risk, it was his entire identity. Multiple surgeries began immediately, 5 by 2023 with a 6 still ahead, followed by months of grueling therapy where he had to relearn how to grip, squeeze, and decorate cakes. By 2023, he had regained 95% of his hand strength, a near miracle earned through relentless work and pain. That same year, just as he found his rhythm again, Buddy made a bold move by leaving TLC and launching 2 new A&E shows, Cake Dynasty and Legends of the Fork, both premiering on November 11th, marking not just a comeback but a complete reset. The focus shifted from spectacle to storytelling. Cake Dynasty followed his family as they learned to run the growing business, revealing a more reflective Buddy as mentor rather than star, while Legends of the Fork took him across America to explore legendary restaurants and the cultural stories behind them. The shows showcase a new chapter in his life as he guided the next generation, watching his 19-year-old son Buddy Jr. debate joining the business, his daughter Sophia impressed with a stunning cake that hinted she might be the future of Carlo's Bakery, and overseeing an empire that now included 14 bakeries, 7 restaurants, and 75 vending machines. The reinvention paid off when, in June 2024, Buddy won his first ever Daytime Emmy for Outstanding Culinary Host, beating some of the biggest names in the industry and calling it a dream come true for someone who had nearly lost both his career and his hand. Beyond television, his personal life remained his anchor, with his marriage to Lisa, which began in 2001, enduring every high and low as they raised 4 children, Sophia, Buddy Jr., Marco, and Carlo, and built a stable family life. In 2014, they move into a $2.5 million mansion in Mornville, complete with a gourmet kitchen, home theater, and cake decorating studio, a home later valued at over $3.2 million. Today, each of their children is carving out a path of their own, from Sophia's successful marketing consultancy to Marco's viral cake recreation and Carlo's early culinary training, while Buddy continues to give back, donating more than $2.3 million since 2010. Granting over 100 Make-A-Wish experiences, creating life-changing moments like a 500-pound cake for a young patient undergoing surgery, funding a mobile bakery for Special Olympics events, and awarding $180,000 in scholarships to aspiring culinary students in 2023 alone.